It's not everyone's cup of tea to consume an entire podcast. That's why, welcome to the Ranveer Show's highlights channel, DRS Clips. Subscribe and hit that bell icon. Let's turn the tables.
Okay.
And ask Kiara Advani what she thinks men expect in relationships. Because there's all your Cosmo out there. There's all your internet articles out there which tell women, which talk about what women expect. There's very less content about what men want in relationships. And
it's so nice that you're bringing this up. I clearly don't know, so I want you to tell me what men expect in a relationship.
why don't you
tell
try
me?
first and then I'll help you out. Whatever you observed.
From my experience,
Yeah.
the same basics: loyalty, trust, understanding, respect. I think for me, these four have been, these have also been a given in whatever I've been in also. I don't know if there's, I don't know, you have to tell me.
Okay, so I feel when you want to understand someone's requirements or what they need to understand what they're going through. Like, what's the negative of being a woman? What's the negative of being a man?
Yeah.
American society is as sexist, if not
True.
more. And these are societies all over the world. Okay? Where as a girl, when you're growing up, you're just told certain things.
Yeah, we don't even realize sometimes when the behaviors, it's so like in our DNA. Forget about what we've seen growing up or any of that. It's somehow like come from our ancestors. We don't even realize it and we feel these are the duties and roles we have to perform.
Exactly.
But I think today, say with conversations like we are having and that there are being, people are also, in a way that's changing, but that's also shaking the expectation then that, say, a man and a woman have from each other.
Yeah.
Those lines are blurring and to be okay with it is probably currently the biggest challenge.
I personally, the way I look at it, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Because I'm not a girl. So this
Yeah.
is just my masculine
Yeah.
perspective. I feel women, since they're kids, in some degree are disrespected. There is a sense of disrespect. Okay?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, but I just feel like it's not like I'm not only using the word term disrespect. I feel it's also a sense of like suppression. Like I feel like they feel there's a little inferiority thing that ends up happening.
I think that's what I'm terming as disrespect.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. It's the same
I-
term, but I just want to add these to show it's in this form.
I get it.
No?
Yeah, and this is something as a man I've learned
observe.
over the course of my career when I've
Yeah.
worked with women, when I've had female co-founders.
True.
Because co-founding is like husband-wife, sort
Yeah.
of. So you understand like very deeply. Anyway, my point is, through conversations like this also, I've got to learn this about women. As a guy, you don't even realize these. I had a sister older than me who was brought up very differently than me. Just
Really?
because of the society that, as in
Yeah.
great. She's had a great life as well. She was treated much more like a princess than I
Very
was.
well.
I mean, not that I want to be treated like a princess, but you know
But
what I mean. But despite going with a fantastically intelligent sister, I didn't understand certain realities of being a woman.
Yeah.
And at age 28, I've realized, girls have to go through all this shit. Anyway, so my terminology is disrespect. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of girls, effectively, even a lot of the stuff you said about women's expectations in relationship, a lot of it is centered around respect. That respect me and respect
Correct.
my opinion. Take my
opinion.
Take my
Yeah.
opinion. And I do feel women have a strength of empathy and emotional awareness. So their opinion not just matters, it can really shape up a much
For
better
sure.
decision if you're a guy and looking for career advice.
For sure.
You see, so I had this whole phase in my life where I thought I'll never get married because I'm getting so much time to myself that I can utilize the time for my career. And I have this German friend of mine, Thaddeus. He's the German BeerBiceps.
Okay.
And he told me that you see any of the most powerful men in history, ask yourself how far you want to take your own career as a man. Do you want to make it to the history books? You'll have to have a stable partner and a wife in your life. Because if you want to go that far, that means you're going to have to do a lot of work. And if you have to do a lot of work, there has to be a base of recovery where you can come back and heal and then go out into the world. Okay? And
But so I'm just going to cut you there. The reason this is what I feel, that when you think like that, it's great. But when you come back, when you want, like for a guy, if you want that woman who you're going to come back and who's going to, energize you to go back, that's only going to happen when that person is happy. And I'm not saying that you have to make that person happy. Yes, we talk about you should be happy to me, but that's going to come with a mutual respect, mutual understanding, and it works both ways so that even this person can go out and live their dreams, come back, and together, like friends, like it has to be a partnership. Yes, love is the most important thing, but there has to be a friendship. There has to be a partnership. It's not ki you go and come back and like you have, you should get married because you want a woman in your life or that. I can give you many examples of women who've been in very successful people's lives like that who are not happy. And we can be talking of Einstein and the likes who've had those, who've had those relationships that have not worked, and the women have not been happy in that. So to energize you to go back, you need that relationship to be solid.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You spoke as a woman.
Yeah.
And you spoke using feminine terminology. I'll give you the masculine terminology on the same thing. You understood the women's trauma, which is disrespect.
Yeah.
What is a man's trauma? Okay, a man's trauma is, since the time you're a little kid, you're told that your value is attached to how much money and fame you earn in the world.
Yeah.
And if you don't have one or both of those two, you're worth nothing. You're in fact like mocked as you're growing up about these things.
Fair.
As a woman, you're mocked about, oh, you won't be able to do anything. As a guy, you're mocked about, oh, you won't be able to
agree with
reach.
you.
So,
and sometimes it feels harder. Like, I mean, in a man's shoes, like, I mean, I have a brother at home and he's at that age where he's just starting off his life. So I do see, him going through the challenging period of how I'm going to make it, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Because somehow, similarly, unfortunately, women have always been told it's not there are two things. One, ki, you're not going to be able to do anything, or you're good for only getting married or whatever. So the pressure of making your own life is not put on a woman the way it's put on a man.
yeah.
And it can be equally pressurizing on a man when, like, how a woman feels that, these things like what we're talking about. I totally understand when a man feels that that my value, like, you don't understand, but it's I have to make it, otherwise I will have no standing in life. And I can't do this if I can't be like I feel sometimes men feel, I don't know, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel sometimes men feel like, and now this is my observation of you, that I can't have my personal life flourish till I've made my professional life, like till I'm settled, till I've sorry. And I think that again comes from those childhood expectations, or what we've been brought up with as a society or as whatever. But why can't we look at it as two people starting life and making life together? Like, it doesn't, today, a man doesn't have to be the bread earner. It can be, those roles can be equally divided. Two people can equally put food on that table in their home. It doesn't have to be one person. And you kind of, it's, I'm going back into work. And this is a completely different film also that I'm doing. But like my next film, Jug Jug Jio, is about these roles. It's about like, the roles of a husband and a wife, and how especially today's women and men want to have that equality without egos. The biggest problem in a relationship today is ego, right? And now forget, not only in a relationship, in a romantic sense, I'm saying even equations with, like, say, partners, co-actors, friendships, working relationships, environments. The biggest problem is when communication and ego comes in the way.
Yeah.
And that leads to that downfall. So this understanding, like where you're saying that where it's coming from, that the reason someone's feeling a certain kind of pressure, to understand where that pressure is coming from. You want to be understanding of it, right?
You understand this as a emotionally aware girl.
Yeah.
Girls inherently are emotionally aware. Guys are not. Guys have two expectations. One is that, again, guys want a lot of direct input, like communication.
Yeah.
Because we are not able to communicate.
Correct.
So if, like, whatever your needs are, like, you need to tell the guy. And the second one is a place of, like, vulnerability and a place of recovery. Again,
where you can be.
Yeah. And the flip side is that guys look at kind of their relationships from a sense of petrol also.
Yeah.
So y'all, I feel successful relationships happen when both parties put time and energy into it.
True.
And for a guy, that's his form of respect. And that's that's what basically.
No, that's great. Girls, this was great. I think this is something that you put so nicely.
Did I answer your question?
You did.
About guys' requirements?
Yeah, you did.